almost sorted. I'm being very slow today because I'm still waking up a bit. Let me move my mic as well. There we go, all sorted. Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's Final Fantasy XIV stream. I have done a lot of sleeping. I'm still waking up a little bit, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. I'm alive, refreshed, still a bit sick, but again, not as bad as I was yesterday. And ready to head straight back in where we left off, because I'm now level 72, which is exciting. I'm going to do my role quest first before we head back into the story, but let's swap over to the GP. Oh, and this is where I remember that I forgot to do the thing with my face cam. There we go. Hello. Hi, Frici. I'm glad to hear that. I'm still a little bit congested. Oh, I did the thing again. God, I hate you. God, sorry. It's me, swearing at, this thing. Hello. I hope you are doing well. God. I should have... It's like my fate, there's always... There's always something I mess up. But at least it's only one thing this time around. Sorry. Okay, I'm here, I'm alive. I want to say real quick, I'm really sorry if you can hear fan noise in the background. Also, he tells me you can't, and I trust him. But just in case, for each here, in case you can hear it, it's currently 24 degrees here, and it's only going to get warmer. And it is literally impossible for me to, yep, oh, nope, it's 26 degrees now. And it's going to go up to 30 later, and it's literally impossible for me to exist without having the fan on, because I've got my computer on and I've got the light shining like directly on my face. Well, it's actually shining above me, but it bounces down onto my face. So me not having the fan on is basically asking for death. So that's where I am. But I'm here. I'm feeling a little bit better. If I start to feel bad again, I've got my decongestants literally right next to me, and I've got painkillers here. I've got a nice cold ice cold Diet Coke. I've got apple juice next to me if my throat starts to go again. I'm ready to roll out, starting with this job quest. I'm going to be a little slow at first, I'm afraid, because I'm still waking up a little bit, but I'm more or less here and alive. Okay. Checking Discord, as always. I've managed to, I've actually really managed to avoid a lot of spoilers so far, which I'm glad about. I saw one person's post about a place that we're getting to later, but it was a GIF that made literally no sense to me, so it doesn't really count as a spoiler because I had no context for it whatsoever. So I've been doing pretty well. I've like barely been checking Twitter except for when I've been posting on it, or in the case of yesterday, when everyone was posting about the DDoSes in North America, which, so, it's a fun yet bad thing. Turned out to be really good timing for me to end my stream when I did, even though my food was delayed, because literally I'd ended stream and I had gone back to Eorzea to like do a bit of like, I don't know, I guess you call it housekeeping, and in some cases literally housekeeping, because I was working on the Baba Yaga hut. Which is a house that Grace, a friend of mine, and I share. We put I gave her the money for it, or some of the money for it. She bought it. She has the upstairs flat. I have the downstairs room, and it's a hut. So I was working on my bit of that, and it kicked me out, and it kicked everyone out. And turns out it was a DDoS. The rumour mill is saying it was the WoW folk. I don't know how much I believe that, but that's what the rumour mill is saying. Either way, yeah, it was a DDoS. And it turned out to be really good timing for me to end my stream, even though I then had to like eat my pizza while ostensibly leveling with some friends, where each time in between dungeons I would like mute myself and like cram a slice of pizza down my throat. Anyway, how's it hanging, dude? So you came. It's good to see someone who isn't all talk. It's fortunate we have another Sonita, far less imposing specimen than Phronesis, of course. It's been sighted just to the west of here. Prove to me you have the skill to back up your words and we'll talk further. Okay. God, I'm so glad that this is a instant cast to summon now. It makes me so happy. Please leave me alone. I'm not here for it right now. I've got a city to beat up, please. There we go. Ugh, I don't know how much, if I'm still a bit congested, I'm afraid, but hopefully that'll clear up. Right. I do this, and then I do that. Way to beat that. I do this. I do that. Way to beat that. Go into Dreadworm. And do that. There you go. Hi, buddy. Good show, friend. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but seeing you in battle has left me with little doubt. It seems I found myself a formidable ally. Hi, Pixie Pigs! I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the gifts on Steam yesterday. I completely forgot to say because I'm an idiot, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It was so nice of you. You really, really, made me very, very happy, but also, I cannot justify spending money in the Steam sales now because all I was going to get was indie games. And I now have way too many indie games where I don't want to increase my, lists of them anymore. But thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. Trying to mute myself for when I'm super snuffly. I'll extend the offer in earnest. Help me hunt down Phronesis and we'll split the bounty down the middle. Well, what do you say? That's the spirit. Now there's more you should know before we proceed. Come with me to Mordsuk, my base of operations, and I'll fill you in on the details. I mean, I like just rode here from there, but you know, okay. A pixie friend! Oh, Pixie, too nice. But seriously, like, I'm not good at conveying it because I'm very bad at conveying emotion in general, but I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's incredibly generous of you. And I will... Just you wait, because sometime when you're least expecting it, you're going to get a whole bunch of games in your Steam inventory and be like, hey, whoa, what the fuck? And then I'll, like, appear in the back of your flat cackling wildly and then disappear. Although, give it a couple of months and you never know, I may actually be able to appear in the back of your flat cackling wildly and then disappear. Okay. God, I love the background music here. I said it so much yesterday and I mean it. I really do. So you can see it's a bustling trading post, frequented by merchants from across the realm. At least it was before Phoenicia showed up and started preying on unwitting travellers. Hence the bounty, you see? Lucrative reward has attracted the attention of one capable bounty hunter after the next, yet the fiend still roams free. You can probably imagine why. Those of you who've seen the Phoenicia and returned to tell the tale speak of the great horrors they witnessed. Cavernous black holes materialising out of thin air, swallowing everything around them into the abyss. People have taken to calling them the Hollows. Rumour has it that one barely has time to lay eyes on Phoenicia before he summons forth the Hollows, which proceed to consume everything in sight. That's dope. And I do mean everything. Just the other day, an entire caravan was devoured by the Hollows, leaving only nothingness behind. Made to the postulate of these holes are literally tears in the fabric of our reality. Gateways to other worlds, to put it another way. At any rate, suffice to say, the next man to come back from the void will be the first. Ah, I love that, Pix. When I say Phoenicia doesn't seem to go out of his way to prey on people or settlements, he simply shambles across the waste, summoning Hollows one after the next, and destruction follows as a matter of course. Needless to say, drawing too near to the fiend is tantamount to suicide. Even attacks from afar have been all but futile, as Phoenicia simply summons the Hollows to consume every incoming arrow. With every conceivable means of attack foiled, even the most savvy bounty hunters have all but thrown up their hands, even though the bounty now stands at some 9 or 10-fold the original amount. I'm of a different mind myself, however. The way I see it, if there were a way to neutralise the Hollows, we'd more than stand a chance against Phoenicia himself, so why require your services? You're easy to triumph over this evening to spoke clear. You're a mage of no common skill. If anyone has the arcane knowledge and aptitude to help me figure out a way to defend the Hollows, defend against the Hollows, it's you. Sure do. Don't worry, I fully intend to shoulder my share of the burden, and so I plan to gather all the information we need before asking you to put yourself in harm's way. With that, I'd best get to work. Once I've formulated a proper plan of attack, we'll talk again. Until then, I suggest you continue to hone your casting skills. The battle that awaits us will not be an easy one. That is very fair, Frici. I prefer so it depends what you mean by crazy weather. In almost every case, I prefer intense weather when I'm at home, because, so if I'm not at home, I'm usually at work, and I can't drive, which means I'm relying on public transport, which means quite a bit of walking and standing outside. So if it's freezing, or if it's really warm, or indeed if there's a thunderstorm or a rainstorm, it means that at some point I'm going to get caught in it. Also, especially when it's raining, we have a metal roof at work because the place I work in is built like a garage for some, well, I was going to say for some arcane reason. It's built like a garage because we train people to repair cars, but it's a really odd way of building a building in my opinion. But we do have a metal and glass roof, and that means when it rains, it sounds scarily heavy, and also the building creaks a lot. And this is a weird, like, throwback thing for me. So when I was younger, I used to spend a lot of time with my parents travelling to and from France, and we would always take the car ferry because it was much more convenient. And if you've ever slept on a ferry, or certainly the ferries we used to sleep on, they are constantly shaking and rattling and making you feel like something's about to fall apart, because they're very old. And the sound of the building shaking and like moving sounds exactly like the sound of being on a ferry and it shaking. And it's so exactly the same sound that whenever it happens at work, that I just get this intense cognitive dissonance where I just think I should be asleep on, or not sleep on a ferry right now. And it's an odd thing. It's so weirdly intense. It's I don't know, I'm describing it very badly, but it really is, it's that cognitive dissonance thing where it's the immediate contrast between this sound is so inherently linked with this situation for me, and I know that that's not the situation happening, but because the sound is so intensely linked with it, it sounds like that, like that's what the sound should be. It's really weird. Weird and intense. But anyway, that's my story. I prefer crazy weather when I'm at home, or if I'm at my parents', because previously when I was at my parents', if it rained, my roof always leaked. But after I moved out, they repaired the roof and it doesn't leak anymore. But the great thing is, where I am now, I'm in a middle flat. I'm in the first floor, or second floor to Americans, and that means I don't have to worry about leakage or flooding. I'm in the best spot, being in the middle here. Anyway, that's my story. I'm glad you got a thunderstorm. I'm gonna be paying attention to this. I love that. I love that Osterby has transmuted himself to EU hours. We're like right near each other. He's just done the class quests, whereas I'm doing them now before I go on with the story. So I'm sort of playing along at the same time as Osterfriend. I think it's friend had asked about a potential UI change. There you are, your timing couldn't be better. As luck would have it, a little bell told me that Phronesis was sighted in the vicinity not long ago. Yeah, that's... makes sense, Pix. I can't remember what the weather was like. I've only been to Boston once. And... no, have I? I've never been to Boston. Ignore me. No intention of rushing in like a fool. My plan is to shadow the Sin-Eater from afar, that we might observe the hollows with our own eyes and formulate a suitable plan of attack. To that end, I procured this mannequin here from a pungent acquaintance at the Mindic Castrium. By sitting it on Phronesis' tail, I mean to gauge just how wide of a berth we must keep from the fiend so as not to be sucked up into the void. Shed no tears for little fellow, friend. His sacrifice will be the key to our success, and yet, as you can see, he's not quite in the best state of repair. Pray lend me a hand in procuring what we need to get him back on his feet. Lifesaver. I just spotted a nasty looking sand-skinned Sibylle looking about to the east of here, and I do believe one of the tendons deserve well to put some spring back in little fellow's step. Snag one for me, and I'll see to the repairs. Okay. I'm mildly concerned about this mannequin. I feel like it could be really quite horrifying. Anyway. Well, Pixie, a fun story about that. It sure has. So it is currently, I looked it up like 5 minutes ago, but let me double check again. It's currently 26 degrees here. What's that in Fahrenheit? Whoops, let me walk straight into a rock. So let me swap over to Fahrenheit. So it's currently 79 here at the moment. We'll be going up to highs of 86, 87 in a few hours. I've got a lot of water. I have got a... sorry, I'm just being distracted by having to pay attention. I've got a lot of cold drinks next to me. I've got a cold drink here at the moment. I've got my fan going. All the doors of my flat are open and all the windows are open so I can get a good 3 draft. And I'm thinking, it depends how warm I get later, but I'm thinking rather than doing like a really long stream today, what I might do is do like perhaps more like 2 or 3 4-hour streams, so keep going for a bit, then I'll like turn stream off and I will turn stream off, I'll turn my light off, I'll like basically lie on the floor with my fan going to cool down for a bit and eat, and then keep going again. But I've got, because these curtains, they're not quite blackout curtains, but they do a really good job at keeping a lot of the light out, so that really helps. I've got them open just enough that I can get a bit of a draft in, but if you hear like a sound in the background of like, pardon me, if you hear a sound in the background that sounds weird, it's my fan going, because I turned it off for about 2 minutes earlier when I was testing audio, and it is literally untenable to not have my fan on at the moment. So I've made the decision that even if it picks up, it's tough shit, because I need to have it on, otherwise I can't be in this room without the fan on. I could go sit in my bathroom, I suppose, but can't really do anything in there. Tell you what, the worst one though, like this, I think this room is okay. The worst one is my bedroom. I do appreciate it, Pixie. Don't worry, I've got ice cream in the freezer. I've also got a massive bag of frozen peas. So I've got cold things, and I don't need to cook today because I've got leftovers which I can just bung in the microwave, so I won't need to put my cooker on, which will really help keep the heat down. The thing is that I am both. I'm going to get back to the story. I just want to like make this very clear, because I know that you guys will understand, but I feel like a lot of people maybe don't understand that Europe in general, but I think especially the UK, we aren't built for weather here. Yeah, I really should have done that, Pixie. And the thing is, last night I was so tired I just went to bed, and then now I'm like, I should have gone to Asda last night when it cooled down, but it was still open, and I should have gone and got some food for the weekend. I've got a delivery coming tomorrow, but I should have got like something easy, like some microwave pasta or something for tonight. That'd be really easy. I've got reheatable dehydrated pasta, but it's pretty nasty, so I don't want to eat that unless I'm really hungry. I haven't got any tuna, but I can make something. But yeah, so British infrastructure and British people are not built, but essentially we're not built for weather. And so I think I was talking about this yesterday, but the building that my flat is in is probably 90 to 100 years old, and that's very normal for us here. But the problem is that means that it's boiling in summer and freezing in winter, because it's not got very good insulation. It's got double glazed windows, but because it's got a lot of external walls, and especially in winter, it makes it really hard to retain heat, because like, so the two places I spend most of my time when I'm not at work, either I'm at my desk or I'm asleep, both of those are right next to an external facing walls, both of those are right next to a window. Even with the double glazing, that means that it really struggles to retain heat. And in summer, because we don't have AC, it's very difficult to retain cool air. What I've currently got is I've got like a draft going through, we've not got any wind, but ostensibly I've got a draft going through my whole flat, which should help. I've got the fan going, but it's still basically not built for weather. And so, you know, it being 26 for us, being what, 75-ish, that may not be warm to a lot of people, but for us, certainly for me, that's really warm. That's too warm for me, and it basically means I can't go outside, because if I go outside, I'm going to be binding, and if I'm binding, that means that I've got a skin-tight elastic vest underneath my clothes, which is untenably warm. It's really good in winter because it's basically like wearing thermals all the time. In summer, it's hellish. So I'm not going outside for this whole week except at night. That's my story. Anyway, let's go beat this thing up. I'm gonna go straight into the helmet for this one. Whoops, I could so here's a fun thing, is at some point recently, I think I bungled my mouse somehow, and it's just been weird and not really working as intended. Anyway. The thing is, I'm not entirely sure how I managed to bungle it, because sometimes it feels like my mouse speed is too high and sometimes it feels like it's too slow, and I'm really not sure exactly what I've done, but anyway, that's a fun fact. If you hear me clicky-clacky keyboarding, it's probably because I'm typing to a friend in FC chat. My part required something should serve in makeshift gear. Cost me an arm and leg, but hey, if it helps us claim that badge in the end, it'll be more than worth it. Oh, pardon me, I'm sorry. Perfect. I reckon this is the last I'll have to replace the mannequin snap drive belt. I'll fetch my toolbox and get started right away. Meantime, why don't you scout out a suitable lookout point? Phronesis was last sighted just southeast of town. Try to find us a spot on higher ground, out of sight from the main thoroughfare. Please don't attack me. I'm excited but also terrified. I really need to... Oh my god. Our clockwork friend is back in tip-top shape, and since it appears you found us the perfect lookout spot, why don't we get down to work? I'll kindle us a fire. We might be here for a while. I really need to get... I'm not going to bother doing it here, but depending on the setup after I move, I really need to get something that I can put on the wall above my desk at like an angle which like reflects light down. Well, I'll be. There's the bastard. Because the lighting on my face is like super dictated by must witness the sheer horror with your own two eyes. It's super dictated by the colour on my screen. Isn't that mannequin too soon? If Renisa sees it, he may very well blast it to bits before it has a chance to investigate the hollows. Hey, thanks! I hate it! And there he goes. I'll send the mannequin in to trail him. Let's sit back and enjoy the show. So here's a fun fact I'm beginning to realise. I do this in a lot of streams. I have a moment where I have like a looks at camera like I'm in the office moment. Shed no tears for a little friend. There was sacrifice from now just how much distance we get from the hollows to avoid being sucked into the void. Now it's our turn. Let's inch a bit closer and see what we can observe. Mind you, take care not to wander too close, lest you fancy a vacation to a dark, shadowy abyss. I mean, this is the Goth expansion. Shadowy whirlwind rages inside, ready to suck anything and everything into the void. Seen many a horrific sight in my day, but this sends a shiver up the spine. Anyway, my point is I need to put the camera on my second monitor so I can have my looks at camera like I'm in the office moments without looking away from the camera directly. You look as if you've seen a ghost. A voice, you say? From inside the hollow? But that's impossible. Is anyone out there? Please, help me. Help me get out of here. Over here. Was that a voice? Somebody out there? If you can hear me, please, you must help me. I can't see anything. No road, no trees, not even an ether current to follow. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this place? Voice, what in the God's name is it saying? The voice of Voice claims he's lost inside with no ether current to follow. Sounds like he's adrift in the flow, not unlike what would happen if an etherite to which one was teleporting was destroyed in mid-journey. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if there was some way you could channel your ether into the void? Might that not allow your etheric form to serve as a beacon of sort to guide the child back to us? Of course, not that I know how we go about that. Love that emote. Reckon you could just do just that? Wouldn't even think of asking how. Wicked White, I knew you were no ordinary sinner, but even you still find ways to surprise me. I love the way that they use sinner as like a slang phrase for people. A small bab. Help, I've picked up another Ellison child. Where am I? But I'll be damned. There was a child inside. A little expedition has left us more questions than answers, eh? But for now, this boy needs our care. Let's carry him back to Mordzook and find him a warm bed and some nourishment. Rings up Alfie and Anna, rings up the twins, like, I've got some news for you. You've got a little brother now. Yeah, so I adopted another child. Yeah, I know. What? Hang on. What? Hang on. Like purgatory. Okay, hang on, right. What's hellish content when it's at home? Okay, so Room 3 to campfire. Bahamut. I see. I'm gonna have to swap Outburst and Painflow around. Seeing as I don't ever use that. Sorry, I just looked at my thing and realised that I'd unlocked the Firebird Trance, which I guess I hadn't seen when I was leveling, because I literally hit 72 and then we swapped, and I swapped to Astro, so my friends could get DPS experience. He's weak but not wounded, at least as far as I can tell. Needless to say, his presence raises questions. Are there others trapped on the other side of the hollows? If so, might they also be returned to our world alive? There's much we must ask him when he awakes. On another subject, this might be an odd question, but have you ever looked after a child before? As a matter of fact... You don't say. In that case, it's all yours. I'm Justin, friend. Can't very well tie you down here forever. Worry not, I'll manage somehow. Suppose the first order should be to get food in his belly. He does look terribly pale after all. Methinks I'll go hunting for some meat. Perhaps I'll take him to the physician first. After all, he may be suffering some ailment inscrutable to the eye. Or maybe I should... Damn it all, I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Oh my god. I love that. Okay, well, where do we want to head to? We want to go over here. So we want to go to the pendants. Actually, I'm going to do this for now. So that if I die, at least I don't die. I did yesterday die so hard I got returned to Eosia. So that was not fun. Arm's still so itchy. It's doing a lot better. It's probably can't really see. It's healing a lot has healed, a lot of like it is healing, the peelies have stopped peeling, but it's also still really itchy. Pardon me. Okay. This is the perfect BDSM, Kupo, party, sleep. Here we go. Begging your pardon, sir, but do you perchance intend to head outside? I strongly advise you not to stray too far from the Crystallium. Word has it Umor has dispatched his military to Lakeland. Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of night. Even now, the Exarch is in the Ocular, deliberating a response. Oofa doofa. Doppelgate is where we want to go.
You are come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands.
Oops, let me take us to the Spodal Zone.
Laxon Loft here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships.
A little bit.
They have questions for us concerning the death of the White Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
Well, this has only ever gone badly before.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
A moment, Captain, if you would. gather round.
I'm both suspicious and really like the Exarch. God, I'd forgotten that glamour until I saw it in that cutscene there. Pardon me.
I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish. Enter. Well, well, the commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
Oh, I don't like him.
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmor's interest in this?
His benevolence, Lord Vorthri, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmor considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthri. In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmor's mercy, promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
Doing a bit of Discord moderating. That's why I was on my phone. I didn't want to alt tab out and cause frame issues. Ah, Pix, you've got exactly the same name colour as what you got on my screen. That's going to confuse me.
imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmor's army since before Vorthri's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin-Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmor chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat. While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
It is noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived. Yulmor has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle.
What in the fuck? Minfie! We have to go rescue Minfie now, immediately. Throws phone across screen.
It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmor before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
I'm sorry, generations of Minfilias?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Moren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He'll be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
I am intrigued.
Alright, though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
For what it's worth, I am a certified Minfilia stan, so like...
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds... Something sounds slightly off. I haven't worked out yet, like, where the era are supposed to hail from, in terms of, like, naming conventions and stuff like that as well, so, like, it's hard to pin down. Yeah, so... Every so often you get this person doing a voiceover for certain cutscenes, and I still haven't worked out if it's the Exarch or if it's Ardbert yet. But I want to work out. They're just similar enough, and I'm like just voice blind enough that I really cannot tell.